Greetings. Had this question come up and thought I'd create a video to help. And essentially the question was this: how do I put in all my assignments into my course assignment tool, but so students are aware of what's coming up and what they have to do for the entirety of the course, but I don't want them to have access to them, to be able to click into them and see what the directions are at this point, just essentially that listing. And this video is to take a look at that and show you how that's done. As you can see here, I am right now in this course as a student, and you can see here that I can see that I have a writing prompt due, 1 and 2, and 3 different writing prompts. And the differences here is you can see that this one has that access kind of tool set up when it becomes available, the availability tool. So it says here that it's available on September 25th. You can see that's a few days before it's due. And I can't click into this at all before it starts. So my access is restricted before availability starts. Same thing happens with writing prompt 2 here. And then you can see that writing prompt 3 has none of those restrictions put on it. So if I wanted to, I could click right into that and see what the writing prompt is and continue on. So we'll go back to our assignments. And what we'll do is we will take a look at creating an assignment or editing an assignment and setting these up. So I'm going to go up the top here and I'm going to turn myself off as a student and come back in with my professor powers, go into my assignments tool, and here we are. And you can see those 1, 2, and 3 that were visible to the students. Now you can see this one has the eye with a line in it, and that essentially means I've hidden it. And when you hide something, it overrides all the other settings as far as that availability is for students. So you can turn that off in the edit tool. You can turn that off here when you make it visible. We will turn it off in the edit tool in this instance when we've completed our edits to set the availability for students. So we'll go in here and we will go to edit assignment. And you can see here I've got my title, I put it in my grade book, here's my points, here's my due date on 9/6, and then all my instructions would go into this box right here. So if I go over here to availability dates and conditions, I can click that down and you can see this start date and the end date. Now essentially a start date, that gives it, lets you know when students would be able to click into it and access it. The end date would be when that access would no longer be available. So you could perhaps create a window if you want this open for a week for students to work on it. That would be the end date. And you can see here the important thing is to remember this window must include your due date, or Brightspace will let you know you kind of made a small mistake in that area. So in order to set the start date, you can click on here and click through your calendar. You can type it in. Let's see, we need to go to September. Let's make it available on the 1st. So 9/1, which is before our start date there. And for this example, we will create an end date, perhaps for a couple of days after the due date. You can set those parameters however you'd like. I'm going to click through to September, and we'll make it available to the 11th. Now I've set those 2 windows. It reaffirms those. You can change those dates. You can change these times if you need to. Whatever works best. Perhaps you want to make it class time, whatever. There is one other point here, and this, you can fine-tune what that availability or inavailability looks like. You can make it visible with access restricted. Essentially, a student would be able to see this assignment, but they wouldn't be able to click into it, as we demoed in the first part of this video. If we click on that, you do have some options. You can make it visible with submission restricted, so they could actually click into it, see the instructions for the assignment, know what it was going to be due and what was going to be required, how much it was going to be worth, see all those points, but they wouldn't be able to make their submission at this point. So that's another option. And then the third is hidden, but we can take care of that with the eye, so we really don't gain anything by that. And then one nice little bonus here is you can add the availability dates to your class calendar, to your course calendar, and your students will see them. So they will see the availability dates for this if you check that box right there. And we going to keep it the same, so I'm going to click done. And you can see it maintained as visible with access restricted. Now I've set my start date and my end date. I have my due date. I'm all set. I am going to click down here on this eye so that this becomes available to students. I will click Save and Close. And we can see that that is now available and for students. We can see these dates. And if we go back in and take a look at it as a UNE student and go to our assignment tool, we can see that test assignment, we can see those restrictive dates that are there, and the student would see that as well. So that's essentially it. If you have any questions on this or anything Brightspace or course related, please reach out to us at CETL at CETL@une.edu. Be well and have a great day.